want to know ki how to make an impressive resume. Means how to we can showcase our skills, talents, and achievements and all. It means how to we can to a potential employer that we are a good candidate for the job.
I would say do not try to make an impressive resume, because in order to make it impressive, what most of the freshers do is they write every single language they have heard of, which is something very wrong. For me, if I receive any resume which has so many languages, I just keep it aside, because I know that person wouldn't know anything.
So actually, I gave an interview for a internship, and that time they said to me that ki a resume can be a reason for the rejection.
Yeah.
Not for a selection, may not be, but can be a reason for the rejection. So resume plays a very important role for a candidate.
So how many languages did you put there in resume?
So basically, in which I am specialized.
3, 4, 5. Not good, na? Resume is very important, but do not try to make it to impress someone. Try to make it to show what you know, because the questions will be asked from the resume. There are companies which do not look for any specific questions. Small companies, if you go to a small company, they will be giving you a handout, and they will be saying that these are the questions, fill it out, and you are selected. But you do not have a long sustaining employment option there. For the good companies, the person would be taking your resume and asking you the question from the resume itself. So if you have written there 5 languages and you know only 1, rest 4 are failed, you would be getting 1 tick and 4 cross.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, can we get the job if our soft skills are weak but strong technical skills?
Yes, you can get the job there as well, because soft skills are good, an added advantage, and it helps you in clearing the interview as well. But if your technical skills are very strong, it would be you'll be able to clear the interview. But the issue is you have to work on your soft skills as well to grow.
Sir, as an MC beginner, what platform and languages we need to start up with?
Sorry, I cannot see you. Okay. Could you please repeat the question again?
Sir, as an MC beginner in IT sector, so what platforms and languages we need to start up with?
Whichever you feel like is right for you. If I tell you that Java is very good,
So yes.
I know Java is very good,
So yes.
and banking sites are being made in Java, but you don't like Java, what would happen? You would not be working in it, right?
Yes.
So don't look at what is good, what is bad, because every language has its place, and there are lots of opportunities in every language. But look for what instincts you to work on it.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Hello, sir, again.
Yeah.
That guy just asked about soft skill and technical skill. What about the vice versa about it? I mean, if the technical skill is low and soft skill is high,
Then you would be able to go into management.
okay.
Sir, you said कि हमें स्पेसिफिकेशन के लिए देखना चाहिए, नॉट फॉर मेनी लैंग्वेज, बट सर एमसी करता है, हर किसी को लैंग्वेज आती है पूरा स्पेसिफिकेशन, बट फिर कंपनी सर मतलब होता है कि वो कहते हैं कि आपको मैनी लैंग्वेजेस आनी चाहिए, देन
नहीं, अगर आप किसी भी कंपनी में इंटरव्यू के लिए जाओगे तो वो आपसे पूछेंगे कि आपने प्रोजेक्ट किस पे किया है, या फिर उनको हायरिंग किसकी चाहिए. अगर देयर आर फ्यू कंपनीज लाइक Infosys, Accenture, what they do is in their database they ask you to enter every single language, but at the end again they ask which project you have worked on, and they compare the same data, and their data mining work that was getting done by one of my friend, and they compare this thing, that which project and what is the experience in that language. They compare that and then select the CV.
So sir, basically you are saying that in our MCA during the MCA project we have to make our every project in a specific language.
Obviously, you can you make one project in multiple languages?
We can make many projects now in different languages as we are pursuing.
That would be very good. I would hire you.
Because if in first semester we are doing C, then we make a project in C. Then in next
No.
semester we are doing Java. Then we can try to make a project on C or on Java. So
No, actually, that projects are very preliminary projects. For example, in C, you would be making library management, which is very common. And I know that library management would be there, and it is only a preliminary project which might have been copied from another person as well. So we look for semester 6, where the industrial training was done. When the industrial training was done, what was the project you worked on, and we ask specific questions from it. It's not like how this class is working, where the variable is coming from. We ask what was your role. Let's say a person says that I was involved in it from beginning till end, I have handled everything. The first question would be, data is going to the server, what are you using, JSON or XML? Person gets caught there. If he knows what he is passing, what are the variables he is passing, it would be very clear. But when you are creating a library management system in semester 1, you would not be interacting with web server. And comparing when you are developing the same in semester 6, there will be a huge difference between both the projects.
thank you, sir.
So basically, I want to enter, suppose, in a quality analyst field, right? I'll be going for my training. No company will provide me training on this. Every company is going to train me on either PHP, Java, or stuff. But
Not really.
so it happens most of the time. So then, after 6 months, what is the scope, and what is the surety that I'll get the job in my interest? See, I don't know the knowledge. I only know the bookish knowledge till date, जो भी हमें पढ़ाया है till semesters में. So, what basic criteria will be there to get into that?
Then you would have to start with a mid-level organization. You cannot aim for a very top-notch company because what would happen is if you really want to start with QA only and you do not have any experience in that field, then with the mid-level organization, work in as a QA, because mid-level organizations, they hire QAs directly. Freshers, they enter as QA as well, and you spend some time there, about a year or two, and then you can go for the bigger company.
So what are the latest testing tools which I should know? Basically, I want to go in testing line, so
For that, you have to go for the certification testing, because the latest testing tools will be told there.
so what is the role of data analyst?
Data analyst is a person who is working as a data administrator, and he is analyzing. You remember I was showing that slide where these three things are done. You have prerequisite analysis and result analysis. That is something what data analysts do. So they compare the data on the basis of where it is, on the basis of these logics. These are the basic logics which works in a statistics for database.
Thank you.
सर डाउट सर एक्चुअली आपने बताया कि प्राइवेट में और गवर्नमेंट में आफ्टर एमसीए कैसे जॉब मिल सकती है, लेकिन मेरे को पूछना है कि अगर अब्रॉड में जॉब करनी है तो उसके लिए क्या प्रोसीजर होगा?
सेम प्रोसेस होगा. उसके लिए भी सेम प्रोसेस है. इसमें क्राइटेरिया थोड़ा सा डिफर करता है. Being a fresher, it's very unlikely that you would be able to get hired abroad directly. For that, you have to join a company within India and then go from India to abroad. अगर वहां पे आपको अब्रॉड के लिए डायरेक्ट जॉब चाहिए, वहां पे एक्सपीरियंस्ड डेवलपर्स को कॉल किया जाता है, क्योंकि उस पर एक्सपेंसेस कंपनी के काफी ज्यादा होते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल, आपको यूएस के लिए H1 वीजा चाहिए होगा. H1 वीजा कंपनी स्पॉन्सर्ड होता है. आपकी ट्रैवल टिकट, वहां पे रहने का खर्चा, वो सारा स्पॉन्सर्ड होता है कंपनी का. तो आपकी जो आउटपुट लेवल है उसके लिए आपको ट्रेनिंग देंगे नहीं. जो आउटपुट लेवल है वो एक्सपेक्टेड होगा, तो फ्रेशर को नहीं लिया जाता उसमें, अनलेस यू जॉइन अ कंपनी इन इंडिया एंड गो फ्रॉम इंडिया.
थैंक यू सर.
Okay, no more questions. Good. Sorry. In database, you can go as a database administrator, junior database administrator. No, they provide training. The companies, they provide training.
Good morning, sir.
That's enough. Yeah, that much is enough.
So you must have heard about NASCOM.
Yeah, I was in the NASCOM unit last
So
week.
if you get a name in that, does it gonna affect our career?
If you got,
If we get our name in NASCOM only in a bad manner, does it gonna affect our career?
I'm not sure what you are referring to, because NASCOM doesn't blacklist anyone.
Actually, a different company refers to the data over there.
So why would you get blacklisted?
If you're gonna leave, like if you're gonna leave any company without any notice, they can set up our data over there.
It's not a good practice to leave a company without notice. So
There can be different
I would say-
circumstances.
it can still be sorted out, because I would not say that going against NASCOM is a good thing, because if you're going for a reputed company, then obviously it will matter. And if NASCOM is saying that this person is jumping over the jobs and leaving the bad traces behind, that is certainly not a good thing to do.
I mean, your companies do refer the data over there.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, sir. So what is the way in research field?
Very long. If you want to go into research field, then first of all you have to go through the basic development process, then team lead, then management, system analysis, and then you can join the R&D wing. Sometimes it happens that certain companies, they hire the R&D wing people from the company itself. So if you are as a team lead working very good, you can be directly hired there.
Thank you, sir.
So no more questions? I was expecting a question from at least one of you, that how would you face the interview? No one of you is asking about that. Okay. So Mike.
Sir, nothing. Actually, I was saying that that is what I'm asking to ma'am when I'm leaving to her car. So that's the main question from my side to her.
Okay.
So she's telling me the way to get how to.
Okay, that's good. So can you share with others, because they might be interested as well?
Sir, please, you tell this. I'm not going to.
For the interview, there are few steps what you have to take care of. One, as one of the participant was asking here regarding the resume, the resume has to be very simple. You have to write what you have done and you know about it. Whatever is written in your resume, you should be sure that that work is done by you, and any questions asked, you will be able to answer that. If there is any doubt, you can leave that section out, because instead of giving a wrong resume to the employer, it's much better to give a simplified resume. In the process of interview, you can tell them that, sir, I have worked on this technology as well, but as I was not very comfortable, so I have not included it. Although the interviewer would say that you can include it, but it doesn't always go like that, because the moment we look at the resume, we say that you have written it, but you don't know it. So it's better to communicate it. So there are two ways. One is write down everything, make a simple resume, take it to the employer with the content what you already know, everything what you already know. When you are giving the interview, at that time if any question is asked, then you can join the part regarding which you are not very sure. So that gives you a benefit of doubt as well. You know about this thing, but you are not very sure, so you have not written it. The second part is you for the machine test. Machine test is something you've done a project in HTML, .NET, in PHP. You would be asked to make a simple small program. Every big company does that, and you have to be comfortable with it. So try to, even if you are doing coding, try to use Notepad++ or any other tool like that. Do not try IDEs, because the moment you try IDEs, it gives you all the options for the variables and the classes, and you don't learn what is there. So do a basic practice of writing a code in Notepad++. It would give you much more confidence that you can write that code. R is something what we use for statistics analysis, for data mining, something that. R, S, S+, S3, S4, these are not Samsung Galaxy S4, they are languages, and S4 is the latest version of S language from S, but R is much more competent than S. When we do data mining at that time, we use that. If you go for supercomputers logics are built in that. Software application architect, that you can be after you have some experience as a team lead, because software application architect would be somebody who would be looking at the whole application as a project manager. As there was a question regarding project manager, software application architect's work, reviewing his work is one of the tasks of project manager, that what is the architecture he have prepared and whether it is going to sustain. For example, an architecture for a website, I say that this is a fashion website and it is expecting 100,000 customers in a month. So my website should be able to take that load. Now for that load, to sustain that load, I have to make sure that my hardware supports that, my software supports that, and my database supports that, because it might be possible that I can put the Xeon computers as a server and give 16 GB of RAM, 100,000 users they would be able to handle. But the moment my database would not be able to handle that query, if I would be using the Windows in .NET, if I would be using R2, that would not be able to sustain that data because it's a free version. So there I would be facing problem. So being a system architect, I have to look at what are the different aspects of keeping the integrity and the sustainability of that system.
Hello sir.
Yeah. Hi.
So the question is, what is the future of IT technology in rural areas?
In rural areas?
Yeah.
IT is something which is not joined with urban or rural area, because in IT you can work from anywhere. For example, some of the companies, they have shifted from Delhi to Chandigarh. Now there is no difference between going to Bangalore or going to Chandigarh or being in Delhi, because the main thing is your output which is coming, the client interaction which is coming, everything is going online. These days on a daily basis I interact with the team. After this session I have a core meeting as well, and there as well what we do is, if we are not available, we can do it via video conferencing. So being in urban area or rural area doesn't affect at all. Technology is something what.
Okay.
So is it necessary to do specialization?
Specialization, yes. You have to be specialized in something. A certificate in specialization, but you have to be specialized in something where you have to know that you are working on that specific language.
Suppose I want to be a .NET developer and I have done my project in .NET. So is it necessary to give certificate on .NET that
Not
I have
really.
done?
No. If you have done MCA, you have done your project, then you can just go for the job. If you are confident that you would be able to clear the interview, don't have to go for the certification. But if you go, there are certain things which you might be able to find out the certain criteria within that specific course. Although I know MCA course and what they teach here, it must be covering that aspects what you get to certification as well.
You mean to say, if I have a proper knowledge of .NET, I don't have to do specialization?
Yeah, don't have to go for any specific specialization. Usually work when you are already on the job. After 1 year or 2 years of job, if you go for certain specialization according to your job criteria, there it works much better.
Thank you, sir.
That's it. Okay guys, thank you.